Hey there, you guys. Welcome back. Today, I really didn't know what I was going to do. I just wanted to make a video. I want to stay in touch with you guys. Life is so busy. I just started a new job. Well, not a new job. I still work for the same place, just a different area of my job, or a different area of my work. And it's no more money. It's a lot more hours. And yeah, I'm exhausted. This past week was a lot of 10-hour days. So I know that many of you probably work a lot more than that, but it's hard to keep the work-life balance because I get home and then I just want to go to bed because it's very mentally and physically exhausting. So yeah, it's been tough. So I've been doing that for the last 2 weeks, and it's a little crazy. So not to bore you with my life, but that's where I'm at right now. So. And then on weekends, we're doing we were going to Home Depot and doing a finish your basement workshop. So that's been over the last few weeks, which has been really interesting because, as you know, we're going to be doing a grow space in the basement. So looks like we won't be able to do the grow space as quickly as I'd like to do it. I'm going to put light fixtures and stuff, but it's going to be an unfinished basement for a while. It's going to be a room. I think we've decided it's going to be maybe about 14 feet by 14 feet is what the new grow space is going to be, which is going to be a phenomenal size. But I want to have like a desk and stuff in there, so it'll feel more cramped, but less cramped than what I'm at after I get everything situated. So, and I'm going to get some better lights. I think I'm going to experiment with some LED. So that gets expensive. So it'll happen over time, but I'll bring you guys in and we'll see how that goes, the progress of that. Moving is in just about a month. I think in about 30 days. So if February wasn't short, it would be about a month. I don't even know. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update on me. And I want to also give you an update on a couple of different plants. As you can see in the background, I've got my little bit of a jungle. That stuff is actually doing really, really well. I got spider mites a while ago, and it's par for the course. In the summertime, or sorry, in the wintertime, when I bring everything in, mites are a thing because the air is significantly drier. I keep everything on the drier side. Mites like it dry, so I could probably fix it by bringing in more humidifiers. It's actually quite humid in here. It doesn't usually go below 40%, but usually it's between 50 and 60% humidity in this particular room. So that's not terrible. But and I have a fan, so the air movement should work. But the plants are so close together. It's bound to happen. And I have magnets, bananas and elephant ears are magnets for spider mites every year. I haven't gotten whitefly so far, fingers crossed, that it continues. And I also haven't had a fungus gnat issue. I have a few fungus gnats, but not like I have in the past. So, I don't know. For the win, I guess. A few spider mites we could deal with. And I also have scale and I have mealy. Ugh, mealy. So, anyway, I have been using this. I've had it for a while, but I just hadn't used it. I've been using neem oil. This is more of a concentrated neem oil. It's a neem. I'm gonna say it's honey. It's like honey. It's very thick. I have to put it in some warm water before I use it to get it pliable and running. And I use it in this sprayer. I have to shake it before every use because the neem is an oil. And it doesn't mix with water very well, so it needs to be shaken like crazy, shaken not stirred. So I mix 1 ounce of this per gallon container like this, and I just and also a small amount of dish soap just to break the surface tension of the water, so that it does a nice coating, and it also mixes this stuff in a little bit better. So I use that wherever I see spider mites, so I've been spraying the crap out of the plants. When the house was on the market, I would spray, or I didn't spray anything because the neem oil, it's kind of an offensive smell. It's not terrible, but when you come downstairs, it has like a really interesting smell. And I didn't want potential buyers to come in and be all like, ooh, what's happening down here? It's chemically. It's not really that chemically, but it's different. It's not something that you would smell normally. So I didn't want to alarm anybody. So during that time I didn't spray anything, but things are sort of under control, and that's pretty amazing. By now I would just be chopping off things, and it wouldn't be so lush back here. There would be like 3 or 4 leaves on each plant, but that's not the case. We've got a lot of leaves back here. Some are doing better than others, but again, they're fighting for light. I only have one shop light over top of them. Am I able to move the camera up just a little bit without... Yeah, there's just one shop light up there. And they're all fighting for it. They've got a canopy. So the things that are lower aren't really getting the light that they need. So in the new house, because of the space, I'm gonna be able to space things out a little bit better. And give things the light that they require. And the spacing that they require. And with spacing, well, maybe not the complete spacing they require. It's only a smaller room. So when you're dealing with bananas, they can take up a lot of space. So more space for them, more adequate. So yeah, anyway, I'm rambling. I also wanted to show you, this is my Nepenthes, I believe it's ventricosa, I don't know. And it has a flower spike that's growing, as you can see. I don't know why this plant does well for me. I really neglect the crap out of this thing. As you can see, there's no pictures on it. The pictures start to develop, and then they dry off. They dry up, they turn brown, and in the summertime it does absolutely beautifully. It grows like a weed, but in the wintertime, I water it. This thing last week was shriveled up, and I'm like, oh god, and then I didn't water it. I'm such a bad person. I didn't water it, and then I gave it a dunk in the water bucket when I was down one day, because I had time, and there was no fertilizer in that bucket, because these don't want to be fertilized, not by a chemical fertilizer. So I dunked it in the bucket, and then it came back. It's happy again, happy as a Nepenthes plant, I guess. So yeah, it's doing really, really well. It will really look forward to going back outside, hopefully very, very soon. We're getting close to spring. Another one is this is a bulldog petalum. And some of the leaves are looking not so great. This thing also gets neglected like crazy. I have read that many times Nepenthes, Paphiopedilums like to be constantly moist. And that is kind of true. They don't like to have their roots kind of in the air, in the dry. Those roots won't develop, so they need to be in the media. They need to be in the bark or moss or whatever you're using to really develop. This one needs to get repotted very, very soon. I don't know whether you're able to see this, but it's developing baby after baby after baby here. Let me see. Yeah, this one here is a new development, and then there's one just developing off to the side. So 1, 2, and then this one here is what's producing a flower right now. And I don't understand why it's... Can you see the bud there? I don't know why it's producing a flower bud, because this thing has been on the dry side all year. All year. I do water it from time to time, and but every time I come down here, it's bone dry. It needs to get put into maybe another size up a pot, or I could split it. There's a natural division right down the center of this plant, so I might be able to just divide it. And one of my friends, Ilona, if you're watching, I might give you a piece of this one because you had asked for it, and you're kindly looking after all of my hostas in your garden right now. So this might part of this might come to you because you really enjoy this one. So we'll see how it goes, but I can't believe that it's blooming after so much neglect. And actually the roots are coming out the bottom of the pot. I didn't even notice until just now. It's probably for the best because I usually put water in the saucer and then it sucks it up. So, and then, what else do we have here? Wanted to give you an update on the bananas, the end-set bananas. This is one of the pots. As you can see, they're doing really, really well. And yeah, I can't believe it. They're a little bit hazy, but I don't know why. Maybe it's the neem oil. The neem oil really puts a film on the plants, and it's really good to spray them off not long after, because that coating can sometimes plug up the natural pores in a plant to do the air exchange and also to release moisture. So let me grab the other one. This one is the one that was farther behind. As you can see, it's not as big, but it's still doing really, really well. It's still producing, I don't know whether you're able to see this. Is it going to focus in there? It's still producing little babies down at the base. Like, if I was to separate this again, excuse me, after we move, I'm going to be doing a video on separating these. I don't want to have too much going on right now prior to the move. I've told you that before. But I'm gonna divide it maybe into 4, and then I'm going to put those in their own pots. And then they're going to develop, and then from there I'm going to divide those out, and then eventually there'll be 1 per pot. But it will take a while to get to that stage, because they're all growing so close together that I would just end up breaking them off, and they would probably end up dying. So what I'm doing is I'm giving them more space, and then their roots develop and they get a little bit stronger, and then from there I divide them again. They get, excuse me, they get a little bit stronger, and so on and so forth until I'm able to break them apart. And usually each little baby has at least 1 root. But even the ones that don't have roots, I find that they are really, really hardy, and they survive anyway. Oh my goodness. Bananas are like weeds, and it's fabulous. So anyway, this has been a longer video than I anticipated, actually. I enjoyed talking to you guys. So anyway, show me what you're growing. Spring is in the air. What are you planning for the next season? I've seen some beautiful ideas for planters on the Plants and Things What's Growing page. I absolutely love it. For me, I find it difficult each year to do something different, and I love doing something different every year. I don't like to fall in a rut where I do the same thing each time. And all of these ideas that are coming through are fantastic. I saw one with some coleus and some oh, what is it called? I think it's called foxtail grass, and then the silver falls. I think it's called dihondra, with the creeping jenny coming down the side. Oh, it was beautiful. So many colors, and it was like a firework of beautiful flowers. So I can't remember who posted it. They got it from Pinterest, but I love all of these ideas. It's warming my heart and my soul to think that spring is just around the corner, because right now it's snowing and it's finally getting cold again. I feel like it's supposed to be spring. So anyway, post all of your inspiration to the Plants and Things What's Growing page. And yeah, anyway, until next time, happy growing, everyone.